man. We'll get you back in, and hopefully we'll see you at Show 100.
Absolutely.
I'll send you the information on all that, and but we'll be right back after this break.
All right, y'all, it's that time again. This November, celebrate Hall of Fame weekend in Kansas City. Join the action at Sprint Center on November 25th and 26th with Mizzou, Oklahoma, Butler, and Stanford battling one of the nation's top early season tournaments at Hall of Fame Classic, powered by Shot Tracker. Get tickets now at HallOfFameWeekend.com or at Sprint Center box office.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Chavez with the Jayhawk Sports Network. And if you would like to have the same historical experience in the same arena that KU, Mizzou, K-State, the Kansas City Kings, Comets, and many other college and pro teams play at, including a Final Four, then Hy-Vee Arena, formerly Kemper Arena, is your place to host your next basketball, volleyball, wrestling, or anything that can be played on a hardwood floor. You could host your next practice, game, or tournament at Hy-Vee Arena for as little as $6 per person. That's right, $6, anybody, anytime. We have all the amenities you need, from team rooms, locker rooms, food court, and team meeting space. That's right, we are open to anyone now. So check us out at HyVeeArena.com or call 816-505-0404 today to book your historical experience.
The MIAA Volleyball Championship is coming to Kansas City for the first time ever. Join us Thursday, November 21st through Saturday, November 23rd for the first championship held at the newly renovated Hy-Vee Arena. Head over to the Volleyball Championship page at themiaa.com to get your tickets today. 8 teams, 3 days, only one champion. Bring your A game.
I'm Gary.
This is Austin.
I'm Tyler.
And we are Midwest Mikes, coming back at you live from the UClick TV studios right here inside the Hy-Vee Arena. And you can book your next sporting event at the Hy-Vee Arena as low as $6. Anybody, anytime. Check it out online at HyVeeArena.com. We can verify that you can come up here and play basketball for $6. Tell you what, Austin might even be here at the time, and you can play him in basketball. And he has a very weak jumper, so you can probably beat him.
I don't understand why. What are you doing?
He can dunk, though.
No, he's doing the... Yeah.
He can dunk, though.
My jumper's really weak. I'm a really bad player.
But he can dunk.
You want
and Coach Fairchild's smiling right now at you, Gary.
Is he? All right.
Let me bring him in, will you?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Let's bring in Eric Fairchild, nephew of legendary coach. There he is, legendary coach.
Music how you like this beat.
Robert Bob Lincoln Fairchild passed away this last weekend, Saturday, October 26th, at Morningside Center in Chillicothe, Missouri. Very legendary coach here on the Missouri side, football coach for a long time. And like I said, we're bringing in his nephew right now, joining Midwest Mikes for the first time, Eric Fairchild.
Hi, guys. How is everybody?
Oh, we're barely hearing you.
Yeah.
Is this better?
Yeah, lean up there closer to it. Hey, don't get so comfortable in that chair.
Hey, he probably had a long practice today, man.
I'm at home. I did. We had a long day and it's cold up here.
Yeah, it was cold down here too.
Yeah, it's cold.
Unfortunately. But first year at LeBlanc High School up there, how's things going?
Not too bad. Getting all prepped up for North Andrew this week in the first round of districts, and hoping we can give them a good show.
Coach, we're barely hearing you there. I don't know what the issue is.
Well, you don't want it to get any closer to my face, guys.
All right. Go ahead, Coach.
What can I do? Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
I got no audio.
Yeah, all right, Coach. just to, we want to welcome you in here, and it's a tough time for you and your family, and living in Chillicothe over the last 11 years, Coach Bob Fairchild meant a lot to me, and as well as you and your whole family, and him and your grandfather started a legacy with the Fairchild name, and you're one of the few, along with your cousin Tony, that are continuing on. And just kind of wanted to have your thoughts and words here on this sad day.
Yeah, I was lucky. His son Dave coached at Hamilton for a long time, and he took a little hiatus there in the middle while he took over some of the superintendent duties. And his first year back on the sidelines there at Hamilton would have been 2003, the fall of 2003. And I was lucky enough to be a sophomore on that team, and he brought Bob with him whenever he came back, and Bob was able to coach us, and along with Steve, and we were really lucky. I think at the time I understood how lucky I was to have both of them, two fantastic coaches, and both of Dave's, two of Dave's sons, the oldest two, Wally and Sully, also played on that team. So, it was special.
Well, we, you and I crossed paths back in, I guess it would have been 2013 down at Central High School. Not being from the Kansas City area, I never even knew that, you're kind of from a coaching legacy up there in Chillicothe.
We've had a lot of them. My grandfather, Rich, my great uncle Bob, and Bob's son was Dave, who coached at Penny High for all those years, and had some great football teams there. My father, Todd, and my uncle Tony, both have also spent years coaching. So, we've got a lot of years in.
Well, you're Tony, including him, I think between all of the Fairchilds have 10 or is 11 state championships. I know he had one as an assistant coach at Meadville. I know Bob had 5. Dave had 3, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
And then your grandfather had 1 in basketball, and so you've kind of have become, okay, do I go with Grandpa or do I go with Uncle, or do I do both? You've kind of been doing both over the last few years, and then accepted the 8-man position at LeBlanc this year. But tell us a little bit about what your grandfather and your grandfather and your uncle meant to the inspiration of you wanting to become a coach and an educator, because there's plenty of educators in your family. We're not even talking about that part of it. You got Karen Fairchild, or Karen Jackson, which is related. You can just go down the list. There's more than just the men in that family that are teachers, educators, and coaches.
Yeah, my mom taught elementary school for about 30 years. And, my mother's sister, who is Karen Jackson, almost has her 30 years in. Tony's wife has spent a lot of years as a pathologist. There's a ton of them. And, from a very young age, I really didn't think about doing anything else. That's all I ever really wanted to do. I was lucky enough to grow up in the gym and to grow up with those great mentors. And, it was fantastic, and I couldn't really ask for much more.
Yeah, we were, the year that we were together that I was talking about at Central, we were kind of dealt a tough hand. We were working for another, kind of legendary guy, Coach Schottel, toward the beginning of the year, and then some of his health things happened, and, a bunch of us young coaches were kind of trying to take over and resurrect the program, and it was a tough deal, but it was a lot of fun looking back on that.
It was. It was a challenge every single day, but I really feel like we gave it everything we had, and we definitely learned a lot from Coach Schottle, and he did a fantastic job. I hope that I can. Talking about those legendary coaches, I also took over for a guy named Tony Dudick, who has spent 42 years, I believe, here in St. Joe between Central and LeBlanc, coaching high school football too. So there's a lot of great ones around.
Yeah, it was it was a learning experience, and I wouldn't. It was definitely challenging. There was some different challenges there than other places I've been. I think that's everywhere. What are some of the unique challenges that you face, at LeBlanc and going to 8-man football?
The biggest challenge for us right now, there's a couple of them. Number one, there's the only junior high football being played right now in the entire city of St. Joe is at St. Joe Christian, which is the smallest school of the 5 here in town. None of the public schools have junior high football, and we don't either. So that's one of the biggest issues, one of the biggest challenges that we have that we try to deal with. So you're getting kids as freshmen that are pretty green most of the time. And then in addition to that, I've got great kids. There's great kids walking the hallways, but we don't have a huge enrollment right now. I want to say we're around 120, with that enrollment at 120, we are supporting a boys soccer team, a boys football team, and a boys cross country team. So we've just got a lot going on for our population, and those are challenges. But challenges we take on and we do our best with. And, just try to keep improving and keep getting better with what we can control.
Well,
go ahead,
Coach. We're talking a little bit about your uncle Bob Fairchild from 1963 to 1997. I mean, and your grandfather was along there with the ride for him. They both, I think, coached basketball and also football together. But that's a long career. And then you put Coach Willard in there from 97 until last year. That's over 50 years of two guys from Chillicothe. That just doesn't happen in sports anymore. Any sport. I mean, got that the longevity there. What made that happen back then? What would be your thoughts from being inside the family on, how that happened?
I think they had great discipline. They were able to build those young men from a young age. They knew what was expected. You had a lot of things that never really changed. Bob again took that program in 1963. And he was just able to just keep it rolling through all those years. And he was a principal or assistant principal through most of that time as well. He knew what he wanted. He knew how to get that out of the kids. And man, there were just a lot of tough kids going through Chillicothe at the time. I mean, you had tough kids, and I mean, those 5 state championships still don't count. Some of those great